All right. So got a couple of different updates here. Some pretty fun stuff actually. We've been busy behind the scenes getting art storefronts, getting Art Helper ready for its next significant level up, and got a ton of fun stuff to show you. So I want to show you the ton of fun stuff. Um, have a question, leave a comment live. I'm going to pin this so you guys know that you can leave comments while I get rolling around. Shout out to Ken Wiley there. What's up, Ken? All right, let me pin this guy. So, one, everyone likely already knows. So we recently just released the ability to leverage Art Helper to post directly to Instagram, which is sounds like an easy thing. It was actually a huge technical undertaking, but now that we have it, we can start really expanding and doing our land grab. So I want to show that off and talk about that a little bit and how cool it is, because practically speaking, big picture, the hardest thing to do is on social is to stay consistent. Really, really hard to stay consistent. So I was demoing this earlier, and I've got some work. I might as well just dive right into this one, and then I can't wait till I show you this other one, which is not public yet, but you guys will get to see it. So I got one of my buddy Matthew Locka's pieces here. He did a charcoal sketch stuff. I just have this loaded up my Art Helper. But if I click on social post, and you'll notice on this one, I already gave it a title and I already gave it a description. And so as a result of me giving it a title and a description, obviously the social media post is going to be written to dovetail appropriately with his artwork already. But you can see that we've got this little paper airplane post button now. And so what this does is it throws you right into a post editor that lets you post directly to Instagram. And the Ted is asking us if that's Nietzsche. Yes, it is. It is definitely Nietzsche. And you can see it does 4x5 or it does, 1x1. Most people have moved over to the 4x5 in terms of carousels. So I find that's the easiest way to resize things, right? And so what I can do is you can see by default, it goes in and it grabs a couple of room mockups that you might like, you might not like. I usually just delete them and say, I want to put a new ones in. And I know that this image really, really looks good against gray. So I'm probably just going to grab some gray ones that I like. Boom. You see this one. Boom. That looks pretty good. And we can rearrange them like that, which is really, really cool. And so on each one, because there's going to be a crop, it's probably not going to be exactly, you can just really adjust them so quickly, and boom, you go down here and you hit next. And it gives you really a pretty beautiful preview of what the post is going to look like with Instagram's actual branding. So for any reason, let's say you look at this one and you're like, okay, that's pretty cool. I probably want to just adjust the crop a little bit. I find that it's really helpful to have what it's going to actually look like on Instagram, inside here, so that you can really just see okay, well, what exactly does this look like? How does it look? Does it look good? Do I like it? You can see what text is going to fall above the fold, right, in terms of what you're going to post. This is also super helpful, especially when you're trying to figure out whether or not you've got a good hook. But I want to just show you this one quickly. So if I can hit schedule too, by the way, and schedule out a time where I want this to go, or I can just go ahead and do post now and post to Instagram. And in my experience, it posts really, really quickly. So boom, you're done. And it usually takes a minute to get it done. So we'll come back and we'll check on it. Well, in this case, it didn't take a minute to get it done. Is that the right one, or is that the one I was testing earlier? I can't tell. That's the one I was testing earlier. Let's reload this and see if it's posted already. But the large picture, the big picture point of the whole thing is if we can make it so that you guys can post way, way quicker, you're going to do it more consistently. The whole point of having something called Art Helper is it should help you market and sell your art. And I think with the social media features, one that we have available right now and two that are coming, I think it will really, really go quickly. Let's see if it posted by now. Otherwise, I'll come back to it. Sometimes it posts really, really fast. Sometimes it takes a second. You just have to see what it does. But also equally fun, okay, is we've added folders and basically a version 1 of organization, right? So you can see in this window, I've got my grid of images, right? And they're obviously distinctly different. I've got some of these nature photos, which are by this photographer named Johnny Adelson. Shout out Johnny. And then down here, I've got these charcoal sketches by Laka. So what I can do is I can create a folder, charcoal sketches, right? And if I could spell, but that's what spell check is for. And I can create the folder, right? And then what I can do is I can just drag select and move them all in. And I know this doesn't seem like the biggest thing in the history of mankind, but we haven't had it up till now, right? So it's nice to have some folder organization in here where things are starting to get dialed in. So I can do a folder for that, and then I can do another folder, obviously, for the landscape photos, and they're wildflowers. So I'm going to call it wildflowers. Okay. So I've created that folder too. Let me just get that folder going. And then I'll drag, this one's not a wildflower photo, so that one's not going in there. I'm going to drag those ones in. And I'm going to drag this one in. I'm going to drag this one in, right? So now they're organized in folders. Your life gets significantly easier, right? This is like a super requested feature. And so now you can have everything dialed in folders and only be looking at this. But it gets even better than that, because in terms of the display options, we've done a really cool thing where you can kind of choose your own adventure here. And again, this is version 1 of our iteration, right? And we've got a ton planned in terms of what we're going to do for overall folder organization, image preview, image search, and image organization, right? But you can see the display options on these ones. And let me see, I don't think I have anything titled on these ones. Let's see if I've got these ones titled. Let's do the display options. Yeah, so if you've got a title, it'll show the title. It's got the file name in there. These are really ugly file names, so I don't know why I would want to see that. Get that out of there. And you can see it's got upload date and it's got tags, right? So you've got some additional information showing already. You can apply filters, and you can see that it's dynamically put some of these tags in terms of organizational. So I could click charcoal, I could click colorful. It's only going to show me the colorful ones, right? But we have the baseline setup for what organization is going to look like in here. And I'm probably more excited personally about the organization features. I would love to get your guys' feedback that's watching this than almost any feature in Art Helper, because I feel like a lot of you guys have massive image collections, right? And you have massive image collections and you don't necessarily have all of it organized, and you don't have all of it contextually organized either. And what do I mean by that? You're going to be able to upload your art into Art Helper. Okay. Doesn't matter if you're putting in 100 images or 1,000 images or 10,000 images or 100,000 images. Okay. And the AI software is going to analyze every single solitary piece of artwork that you put up. It's going to distinguish between photographs and drawings. It's going to distinguish between colors. It's going to do thematic tags. It's going to do subject matter tags. It's going to do emotions. And once that data comes in, you're going to be able to come in here and search by any of those things. You're going to be able to say, show me all my photos that have water in them. Show me all my photos that have rivers in them. Show me all my photos that have lakes in them. Show me all my photos that have ducks in them. Show me all the photos that have a Peking duck. What is that super colorful Chinese duck that I love? What can I think of the name of it, right? Show me just the photos of mallards, right? Show me all the photos with green, yellow, and blue, right? Or pieces of artwork. And I feel like there's no one out there that like any of the solutions on the market, quite frankly, that really do a good job at organization for artists, you know, that really like take everything, bulk upload absolutely everything, all of it gets the thematic tags. And so that's where this is going. We're still early days, right? But the thing is that like you would be able to view it any which way you want, every which way you want, right? And I love like the display options. Like we're going to get a bunch of options in here, right? It'll be like title, description, social media post, any of the other stuff that you've done. You can toggle the color palettes, you can toggle the designer color palettes. And it's like you should be able to quickly do these different filtered views where you can look at your whole doggone collection and then export them however you want, right? And people are asking if we're going to do a bulk upload directly from the website. I hope, but I'm not the developer. I can't promise that, Jay Morris. But the idea is the same, right? Like every single solitary image should go in here. And I don't know about you guys, but I was an early lover of Google Photos and their product because it would do the facial recognition, right? And I would be able to put all of my friends' names in. And then I've got photos of 30 years of my friends, right? Because I've been taking photos for that long, and I like type in their name and I get everything from the entire time, right? That was cool. And then they totally stopped working on that product. I have honestly no idea why. So we are going to be able to do an organizational system that takes in the context so many different ways, and understand, like, once you have that, okay, you can put all of these, and you're going to be able to select all of these. Okay. You just drag and drop all of them. And then you go and make marketing collateral out of this image series, right? Go and make XYZ out of this image series. And we're going to be able to do all of that. And we're going to be able to do all of that in seconds. And that is honestly like where the real power comes from in terms of AI. When you can start, selecting these things, and instead of just selecting one, you have everything thematic, right? Write an artist statement about it, right? Write a collection email about it. Write a product description for the entire series. It's like really, really going to allow up leveling. And yeah, image with Gretchen, yes. And not only guys, not only will it automatically scan absolutely everything that you have 9 ways to Sunday. I mean, I should get this list of categories. Like, I've studied the way that every single solitary art website on the planet that I found, I did DeviantArt, I did Artsy, I did Fine Art America, I did art.com, I did Saatchi, I did Artsy, I looked at all the way that they organize all of their images, what their categories, how it goes, how it's broken down. And we took that study in and said, okay, these are probably the categories that every single solitary person's going to need. But what about Gretchen's case, right? So Gretchen's a photographer. She's got all of her images in Lightroom. The question becomes, how do you blend all the metadata that Gretchen already has embedded in those digital images with what the AI can do, the additional context that the AI is going to be able to grab out of the images? And that's where it's going to get really, really interesting, right? So we're going to have to write it in such a way that all of Gretchen's metadata, okay, that she's got, what year did she take the photo? Is there GPS data embedded in it? Did she put additional tags and context in Lightroom, right? And then not only that, how do we want ultimately that viewing experience to be, right? Like, if Gretchen's jam, let me go back here. If Gretchen's jam is like, she really wants to see the geo data, and she really wants to see the file name, and she really wants to see like one field of tags that she did, she should be able to come in here and toggle just what she wants to see, right? And again, we also, I can't tease everything that we have in the works. What you guys, we've been cooking so hard on this thing for you guys. I mean, I cannot wait to show you. So the idea is, and thank you for that comment, Carrie, and for everyone else's comment. So the idea is all of that in there, and you just have this insane operating system of your entire bank of images. Okay. I want all of it in there, and I want it to make it so easy. Like, if you get an email from an interior designer, and the interior designer is like, hey, I've got a client, the house is lakeside. I know you have a bunch of those lakeside photos, or I know you have a bunch of that lakeside artwork. Can you put something together for me? We should be able to go in here and type, let's just say flowers, because I know I have flowers in here. You should be able to type flowers in here, right? And right now you're working on my testing version. You should be able to type flowers in here and where that lake is. All of those images should be together in one folder, and then a beautiful output should be made that can be emailed to that designer, that they can show to their clients, maybe even gets text message to their phone, so that they can sit there with the interior designer, with the client, and just say, like, why don't you look at these photos that I've got, that are here? Like, these are the types of things that Art Helper is going to be able to do in short order. And I cannot wait to get it all going. And then as the final shout out, because I know most of you guys have probably not seen this feature just yet, but we've been hard at work on some additional sparks, right? And one of the sparks that I really, really like, and I'll get out of Laka's image here, and let me just go back to my folders, landscape folders. Okay, let's just pick this one, right? So Johnny's got his wildlife folder here. I did this interior design outreach. What did I call it? Is it interior design outreach, or is it just called interior design in the main version? I don't know. I think it's just interior design. But this is pretty cool. So what it does is, the AI in this instance is trained up as a master interior designer with 40 years experience that understands everything there is to know about color theory and about complementary colors and what looks good on what, is educated on the latest trends across the various different design disciplines, especially the ones that are hot in today's day and age, right? So that's how the AI was trained on this one. And what it's designed to do is, one, go in and study all of the colors, okay, that are naturally appearing in this image. So you can see it's pulled sunflower yellow, mountain green, and sunset orange, right? So those are the main colors. And sky blue, rock gray. Hold on, let me just scroll too far. Mountain green, sunset orange, sky blue, and rocky gray, right? And let me just show you quickly, because I've been doing this on, how do I get back to, yeah, okay. And we can just see if this one's posted, by the way, just to close the loop on it. I'm sure it's here. And there's the post, right? The one that we worked on earlier. So boom, it's there, it's done. The hashtags, like post done, right? But one of the cool things is, like, you can see I've been sharing on the Art Helper account, and some of you guys are on here, right? And what I've basically been doing is using the color palette, right, from the artist in question, using a short little story on carousels, right, showing off the work. And like, when you look at these, they're cool and they're very visually compelling, right? And how I'm doing that is exactly with this. I'm having the AI look and pull the colors out, okay? And it gives you the main colors that are in your image, and so you can reference those, kind of like I do here, right? Like, these are the images that go really, really well. Or you can come down here, and this is where it really gets cool, the complementary interior palette, okay? So again, the AI knows color theory and it's trained on interior design. So it knows that this image, okay, in terms of a complementary interior design palette, will go great with sage, will go great with warm beige, and will go great with charcoal gray, right? So what you guys can do is you can pick the color that you would like to start off with. And let's say I'm going to do charcoal gray. And so you come over here to the room mockups, you throw in charcoal gray, okay? And you can see already, like, yeah, it does look really, really good with charcoal gray. And what's beautiful is the room mockups, sometimes they're going to give you the wall paint colors, but sometimes, because interior design is obviously not always about the wall paint colors, sometimes it's about what are the furniture elements that are in, the mock-up as well. Like, sometimes it's chairs, sometimes it's throw pillows, sometimes it's a footstool, right? And so you can instantly go in and you already know, based on the fact that, like, this has told you what the complementary colors are, what the really, really good looking colors are that are going to dovetail best with your work. So you don't have to think about it. It sort of takes some of the guessing out of it, which I really, really like. Okay. Then you can come down to the bottom, and at the very, very bottom, it writes you some sample copy, which is just my way of nudging you with a stick. Okay. Copy this, download a couple of the room mockups, with the aforementioned gray, just go boom, that one, boom, that one, boom, that one, boom, that one, right? Come right back to Instagram, search Instagram, go interior designer, whatever your area is, right? Gretchen was on here earlier, so I'll just go interior designer Seattle. And let's see if I can spell interior designer Seattle, right? And so what Gretchen could do is she could come on here, and what she's looking for in these interior designers is someone that's clearly in her area, okay? So Architecture Magic, that's not an interior designer, that's a magazine. House Lift Design. So House Lift Design is an Atlanta interior designer. How the heck did that get into our Seattle results? Let's see this one. Pulp Designs, Pulp Design Studio, interior design, Dallas, Seattle, LA. Okay, they're in a bunch of different places, right? I can come right on here and go message, right? I can throw my sample copy that Art Helper helped me write. I can make some tweaks and say, oh, by the way, I've been featured here, here, and here. I know you use a ton of gray in your designs. I love gray. Here are some of my pieces that dovetail best in gray. Boom, hit send, you're done. And when you think about how long it would take you, well, most of you, let's be honest, okay, we can be honest. Most of you are not sending direct messages to interior designers. I know you're not, okay, because we talk all the time. I know you don't. It would be very easy, okay, if it was all ready to go and you had something compelling to send to them, right? And when you have room mockups that dovetail exactly with the colors that these designers love to use, it makes it so easy to send something that would work perfectly in their spaces. And when you start sending direct messages like this, you guys are going to get responses. They're going to be like, wow, this artist has gone out of the way to get images that dovetail with the colors that I love. And better still, and I'll use Gretchen again as an example, like, I know Gretchen's up there in the Pac Northwest, somewhere around Seattle. It's like these Seattle designers have a Seattle design style. They like the nature photos that she takes of the area, because that's what people want to see on their walls in order to tie the whole house together. And so it's like, boom, there you are, you're ready to go. So that's what's coming down the pike for Art Helper. Definitely want you guys to try the social posting and just see how compelling it is. When you guys see what we have coming very, very shortly on the social posting, you guys are going to flip. You are going to flip, and I'm not going to tease it because it will be here very, very soon. But expect more and easier ways to post in the future. Expect more and more social media networks to be added. And the idea is that if all your images are in one place, you have an AI assistant that can do all these various different things for you. You're gonna be consistent, okay? You are going to be more consistent in your marketing, and we know when you're consistent in your marketing, you win. You guys win. So that's what I got. All of you have a great rest of your days. Appreciate you sticking it out with me on a live. Bye now.